Have you ever seen someone just stay completely cool under pressure? And you just wonder, how do they do that?
So let's just start right here. What if everything you thought you knew about what makes a person powerful was completely backward?
What if that person in the room, the quiet one, the one who seems totally centered, isn't actually the weakest one at all?
What if they're actually, secretly, the most powerful person there? See, here's the deal. When things get crazy, most of us, we just react. But the people with real power, they respond.
Just look at the difference here. On one hand, you got reacting. It's all instinct, right? It's emotional, and frankly, it makes you predictable. But on the other hand, you have responding, and that's about control. It's rational, it's powerful, and that's where we want to be.
Okay, so why is reacting our go-to move? Why is it so easy to lose our cool? Well, let's dive into the neuroscience a bit, because I promise you, this isn't some personal flaw. It's how our brains are built.
The easiest way to think about it is like this. You've kind of got two different brains in your head, and they're always competing. You've got your emotional brain, the amygdala. Think of it like your body's smoke detector. And then you have your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is the calm, logical part. And here is the absolute key. That emotional brain, it has one job and one job only: to keep you alive. It is hardwired for pure survival, reacting in a split second to anything it thinks is a threat. It doesn't matter if the threat is real or not. But here's the catch, right? In our modern world, we're not running from tigers anymore. Most of our threats are threats to our ego. Things like feeling disrespected or being rejected or failing at something. To our ancient brain, all of that feels like a life or death emergency, even when it's totally not.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. If you let your emotions run the show every single time, you become predictable. And you know what? Predictable people are controllable people. A calm mind, though, that's a whole different story.
Okay, so how do we actually break this cycle? How do we take back control? It all starts with two tools that are so simple, they're almost deceptive: the pause and the breath. Seriously, that's it. 3 seconds. That's all it takes. The next time you feel that hot rush of emotion, that knee-jerk urge to react, just stop. Pause. For 3 seconds. That's it. That's your magic window. So why does that even work? Well, that little pause is just enough to interrupt the emotional hijack. It literally creates space for your slow, logical thinking brain to catch up and get back online. This is not weakness, my friend. This is pure strategy.
All right, now for tool number 2, your breath. I want you to think of your breath as the literal remote control for your entire nervous system. It's that direct. Fast, shallow breaths, that's the panic button. Slow, deep breaths, that's the all-clear signal. So let's try a technique that Navy SEALs and elite athletes use all the time. You just breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it at the top for 4, and then a really long, slow exhale for 6 seconds. Just do that 5 times. You will feel an immediate difference.
The reason this is so powerful is because your physiology, your body, is what controls your psychology, your mind. It is almost physically impossible for your mind to feel anxious when your breathing is slow and controlled. You are literally sending a message from your body directly to your brain saying, "Hey, we're safe. Everything is okay."
Okay, so once you've got a handle on your physical state, now it's time to level up and work on the mind itself. And this is all about 2 things: reframing your thoughts and detaching from your ego. Probably the single most powerful mindset shift you can ever make is to go from being a victim to being a student. It's the difference between asking, why is this happening to me? And asking, okay, what is this trying to teach me?
Let's make this super practical. You're stuck in a traffic jam, right? We've all been there. Instead of fuming and getting angry, you reframe it. This isn't a traffic jam anymore. This is patience training. It's a chance to practice. Or how about this one? Somebody criticizes you. Your first instinct is to get defensive. Instead, reframe it. This isn't an attack, this is emotional strength training. Suddenly, every single challenge in your day becomes a workout for your mind. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle: detachment. What is that? It's simply realizing that most of the pain we feel comes from our ego trying to protect itself. When you can truly understand that other people's opinions, their judgments, they're just words. They're just noise. That's when you find real freedom. So what's the big payoff here? What happens when you put all of this together? The pause, the breath, the reframe, the detachment? Well, you don't just learn to control your emotions.
You learn to control your entire life.
This right here is why calm is a superpower. Think about it. In your relationships, it builds incredible respect. In your career, it builds authority. People are just naturally drawn to and trust those who have control over themselves.
So from now on, this is your new training regimen. Every single time you feel that emotional trigger, you run the play. 1. Pause. 2. Breathe. 3. Reframe. 4. Detach. That's it. That's how you build this muscle.
Because in the end, that's what it all comes down to, right? A choice. Life is absolutely going to throw chaos your way. There's no stopping that. The only question is, are you going to let it shake you, or are you going to let it sharpen you? The choice is yours.